So I'm having falafel, a carrot falafel burger, and because I made a bunch of falafels this morning again, and I made some carrot juice, and that's the amount of pulp that's from 1 glass of carrot juice, and it makes 2 patties this size. So anyway, it's tough to eat as many vegetables as one would need to be healthy, I think, these days. Oh, I wanted to show you another thing. Now, I saved these packages to put seeds in to give away, and this was given to me this last Thursday from the Salvation Army Furniture Depot. I'm allowed to pick 3, and this was one of the 3 I picked. And in the box, this was the date, and as you can see, the chocolate is not white at all. So, now you might ask, well, is this chocolate still good? I've overheard people asking them that. And this is the caramel one, and it is not white either. And the date was February 20th, 2018. So they're past their best before date. The one that I've laid out for myself, well past. And just a minute. I don't know where it is. But I mean, you would be tempted to ask, is it still good? A lot of people do when they see the stuff there for giveaway at the furniture depot. Well, what I ask when I see that far past its best before date, 2017, that was a while ago. What I ask is, was it ever good? Why is that not moldy, or, you know, if I taste that, it tastes exactly the same as a Wonder Bar that's made yesterday. Why? Anyway, so James is having the ginger shot. I'm having a shot of horseradish juice. I was going to give him the option of, but he isn't here yet, and it's just cruel to leave him with the horseradish juice rather than ginger. Ginger's harsh enough, but the horseradish, it's incredible. The last time James had a little shot of horseradish juice, he expelled some worms. So it really, really does the trick. It's some powerful medicine. And as I was mentioning earlier, my father-in-law, who I think he's 96 years old right now, he'll be 97 later this year, I think. Maybe at the beginning of next year. I can't remember. Anyway, he always asks me when I plant the garden, he says, did you plant horseradish? And I'm like, nope, didn't plant horseradish, because he liked eating a lot of horseradish. He would always plant horseradish. And I think that's why he's that old. So you got to get the stuff into you somehow. And if you really don't like the taste and you're like, oh, well, I eat wasabi, and it's like, really? How much? How much wasabi do you eat? You know, really? You like to try to fool yourself about things like that. Like, there's kale pulp in this burger as well as the carrot pulp. Not very much. And my juicer doesn't extract things fully, so I still have some juice in there. Enough to give it flavor, which with kale, that's not so fortunate. But I mean, I could trick myself into thinking, oh, well, I'm eating healthy with this carrot falafel burger, but I'm really not. I mean, I'm having it on this garlic bread, which I mentioned before. I could trick myself into believing it's healthy because I see carrot pulp on the ingredients list, and when you're, it's amazing what we can fool ourselves into believing with just a little help from marketing experts and stuff. what's healthy is this. So if you're making your own carrot falafel burger, you're okay, because you're drinking this down, right? You know you are. So that's all right. But if you're not, then I can bring out and show you. I saved the pulp from the horseradish juice, and it looks beautiful, and it'll be wonderful to put into vegan sushi. But, and then I know, like when I've made that and drank this, I know how much I actually consumed. I'm not fooling myself. Like when I see the carrot pulp on the ingredient list of the garlic bread, I know that I'm not eating a healthy product. Even though it says carrot, I could fool myself into thinking, oh, carrots are healthy. No, you're only eating the pulp, and you need to have the juice. So this is not healthy. It's just not. It's yummy, and it's really hard to live a whole life like this, right? But that's where your health is going to come from, is from that. So I mean, you do need to have fiber. You need to be able to eliminate toxins regularly. So if you're eating 3 meals a day, you should be eliminating toxins 3 times a day. So if you're not, your diet is not healthy. That's not proper. Every time you eat, you should be eliminating. If you're not, then you need to tweak it. And it's pretty easy to tweak it with this. You eat the fiber, and you're going to go through. So with this falafel burger, unlike the last one I made, this one does not have any breadcrumbs inside of it. So if I wanted to be healthier, I would eat it without this garlic bread. I would just eat this patty, and it would be yummy. I've done that much of my life. I've been eating the patties instead. So I put in oat flour, which I made myself by putting the oats in the food processor and just grinding away until it's pretty powdery. And I put potatoes, and that sticks together. You can put chana flour, chickpea flour, or you can cook chickpeas and grind them up in the food processor, or any bean, really, or pea or lentil, whatever, and make them that way. So the easiest way to use up the pulp, which you're going to have a lot of it. I mean, I can't eat as much pulp as I drink. I just can't. But to get as much of it as you can, and to eliminate as much as possible this from your diet, because if you're just having the juice, you might be sneaking, and plus you need to be eating solid things too. But I mean, I have some beets and potatoes and rutabaga roasting in the oven right now again, and I'll be eating that later, so I'll be getting the fiber from that. But another thing, and you do want to have some sort of probiotic with this. So if you're wanting to keep it a yummy meal, for the most part, I mean, once I get past that horseradish, then sure are a lot of vehicles that come past here. It's incredible how many delivery vehicles there are. And I really wonder what they're delivering, because the amount of delivery vehicles that have been moving through my alley has increased over the years, and I don't know why. And it's frustrating. Like there were a couple young women on mountain bikes this morning who stopped in the alley, and they were pointing at things in my yard and in my neighbors' yards. And I've noticed that they'll come scoping through, and then there'll be trucks that come picking up things and stuff. It's interesting. You know, it's obvious for me to see this, yet the police are not doing anything about it. So, anyway, I'm going to talk about Supergirl, the complete 4th season, And she's not a good actress, but she does look like Supergirl should, which I like. And they did have, they had, what's her name from, what's her name? Ally McBeal, is that right? They had her in this, and she was doing a pretty good job, and I haven't seen her in this recently, so that's too bad. But when you have a bad main character, sometimes they do for these superhero or any kind of heroic shows, they'll have a lead character that, I mean, like Kevin Sorbo or something. I mean, not a stellar actor, right? But you gotta look, and you can work with it if you have some other real actors, to back you up. So, unfortunately, in Supergirl, they really don't. They don't have real actors to back up Supergirl. All of them are just corny actors. So, no traffic. Anyway, what do you have anything to say about Supergirl?
Well, she's, you probably said it, she's the first person I think they've ever had in anything that purports to be Supergirl or a spin-off or something like that that actually looks maybe the way Supergirl is supposed to look. So.
Why did he stop?
There'd be traffic at the corner.
Oh.
Right. Someone parked there. It's the
I'm really
usual
good at worrying, so I worry about things when I see traffic in the area.
Well, it looked as though he kind of was on business, you know. Not that he has any legitimate business in this particular alley, but it would be somewhere on the other alley.
Well, the people on bikes that are scoping things out as they go through, they're on a kind of business too.
Yeah. Just from what he was doing, like he was arranging his stuff and stuff inside the cab. Yeah, if someone were looking over at cars or something like that, then yeah, and we've seen people like that. So.
All right, so
say what I think
Modern Family, the complete 10th season. I'm actually enjoying it. I always enjoy this show.
10 seasons. Is this a current thing? Has it been going 10 seasons? Pretty impressive. It's actually one of the few sitcoms nowadays where you actually guffaw sometimes. So.
Oh, I do. I laugh about it. So.
So they've got a lot of funny characters. Some pretty good actors.
The guy who played Al Bundy. He's supposed to be a red in this, right? And
something like that,
yeah, and so he was a successful salesman, and he has a beautiful trophy wife, who unfortunately has less curves this season. She lost some weight, and I don't know why.
Well, she doesn't really show that she's
still
getting
looks
older,
amazing.
but I suspect, she gets like a magnifying glass looking in the mirror, and she's seen a few wrinkles or stuff like that.
I mean, she's, even without the curve, she's good on stage or whatever. She's good in the show.
Well, she is funny. You know, like she does have this, I don't know if that's her natural accent. Is that weird? But my suspicion is she plays it up a little bit, but you can almost always understand what she's saying. So it is, people find accents funny, so everyone except the person with
there
the
was
accent.
one episode where the guy who plays Al Bundy, he goes to a home shopping network to try to sell some dog beds that he's created, and they're awesome dog beds. They're shaped, one of them's a cupcake and one of them's a TV set, so you watch your dog sleeping in the TV set.
That's cute.
Yeah, and so they're really cute. Anyway, so he's made these dog beds that are like little caves, which we found that's a lot of the time the smaller dogs, they really prefer sleeping in a cave. So
they probably feel more secure.
Yeah, so if you put the bed under a coffee table, or if you put the bed under something, then they like it, right?
Well, oftentimes they will sleep under a coffee table, and it makes you feel more secure if they're under the table, because you could break you could actually kill one. But they do like rat or bat caves, right?
Yeah, yes.
Sitting under chairs.
Oh, they love it.
You know, getting
So-
our little youngest one. He's not the smallest. He's gotten hold of a watch somehow, and
it's
that watch is
terrible.
running well in the middle of the night. You don't
There's
hear
another alarm in the
it.
middle
It goes
of the night.
beep, beep,
Man.
and it keeps on going
Man.
for I don't know how long. The good thing is if I turn my ear away, I can't really hear it.
Yeah.
But if I turn right towards it, I can probably direct you to where it is.
Yeah, I need to find that thing.
Yeah.
He's ran off with it and he hit it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
He
I
knows
like
they're important to people. It's
Yeah.
just like he likes pencils,
he likes
right?
taking anything that I've been playing with.
Yeah,
He thinks
of course it's
yeah.
playing.
Yeah. So anyway, so he's selling these dog beds, and he's not accustomed to being in front of the camera or talking like that, and he freezes up. But
right.
you
During
can
the
see
headlights look, yeah.
the difference between the reds and the yellows, because the woman who's selling with him, she's a yellow, and she's very good at doing what she's. That's really what they're meant to do, is go on stage and entertain, right? And that's
Well,
where
he
they
was a
run
salesman,
into the least
but
amount of trouble.
salesman
Yeah,
in a
but
different
he was
medium.
like a
Yeah.
CEO sort of thing. Like
Oh.
he was the owner of the
Oh,
business, right?
yeah.
So it's a different capacity. He was not accustomed to being in marketing, and that's what he was doing there,
There we go.
right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I guess I should ask you, which do you want, the horseradish juice or the ginger?
I'll take the ginger because I've
Yeah.
been stealing myself up for it.
Oh, I don't want to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna put a little bite of this in my stomach before I put that.
Yeah, I found out yesterday that maybe helped a little bit. Not much. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Last night I came out and there was someone sitting in your chair. Yeah.
Was it the gray?
It's hard to tell in the middle of the night, but it was a big cat, I gotta say.
Well, they seem
Just-
big to us now.
Yeah.
Cats
So just
didn't
don't
used
go.
to seem big,
Yeah.
but when you start hanging around Chihuahuas,
Yeah,
they
they're
seem
huge.
like when we first met Paris,
Yeah.
she was just tiny to me. I
Yeah.
thought, how she's gonna break? I'm worried about touching her too hard or
Yeah.
whatever.
And she was maybe 7.5 pounds or something like
Yeah.
that when we first got her. Should
And,
be a few more pounds. No.
So yeah, Angel's less than half that, isn't she? Anyway.
Yep, less than half. So half.
But yeah, now cats just seem huge. We used to have a basset hound that was 65 pounds.
Soaking wet. Yeah.
No, he was 65 pounds, not soaking wet.
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't know how much weight he'd add soaking wet. He didn't have a whole lot.
Oh, he'd
Right?
actually get a lot of the water in his. Remember when he would shake off? It was like if you
I
stood
guess he
close
would
to
be
it,
heavier, yeah.
it was like getting a shower, only a
you-
horizontal shower.
yeah.
It's incredible. He was hilarious.
Oh, he's such
I
a
gotta
good boy.
say, and he always had to shake off.
Oh, I
I
sure
mean, he
like
had so much loose skin, right? It made it more effective somehow or another. So, I miss that old
Oh,
piece
do I
of-
ever not want to drink this?
Boy, those raccoons go after those bones. It looks as though they're getting chewed on.
I'm going to put a little bit of carrot right into this. Not that it's going to make it better. I
So what
think.
is this?
That's bell pepper with a little bit of kale.
Okay.
Not much kale.
Yeah,
I
I'll
just have
taste
some
the kale.
Yeah,
You
I
watch,
know.
but I think I'm gonna do the ginger right now. Go from there.
That actually was doable. Get the carrot in.
Well, carrot actually I find is what the only thing that really kills kale juice. Like if you drink the same amount of carrot juice as kale juice, it's really takes care of the
that's
aftertaste.
still bad though.
It is bad. Anyway, did we Modern Family? They got pretty well everyone in the right place, and they've got the two gay guys are hilarious, absolutely hilarious. You know, they're you like them, but they are laughable. You know, and Al Bundy, actually, Lord knows you kind of like him. He's laughable. You know. The one tall, thin guy. What is he? A teacher?
No, he's a real estate agent.
A real estate agent.
He should have been a teacher though, because
Yeah.
honestly, they have him set so that he's sort of like he has these inventions that he's working on and that don't work out.
Of course.
But
The guy just doesn't live in reality. Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
But so they're kind of, in a way, I feel like they're trying to make fun of blues, but really, I bet there's a lot of yellows out there who are real estate agent sort of people or whatever.
Well, they're all real estate agents are yellow.
Yes, really.
Yeah.
But so I bet there's a lot of yellows that actually think that they're
Good at something.
that they're inventors or whatever, right?
Yeah,
They
sure.
actually think that they're the geniuses of the world.
Of course. I mean, what he reminds me of is the liberals who've jumped on to the liberal type of people who are kind of centered, but have jumped on some of the issues of the putative lefties.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they haven't done their homework. They got no clue. They really mean so well, unlike so many putative lefties. I mean, there's one putative lefty who actually says that this is out at the university. He says the guys who flew the planes into the towers were heroes. They were brave, all that sort of stuff. I mean, and that guy's not. You know, he's not like this wishy-washy, love your neighbor kind of liberal, right? But yeah, you get these people. These people, I'm talking about liberals, whites. So don't jump all over that word. These people. I was listening today, CBC, and they were describing derelicts and stuff like that, East Hastings, Vancouver, as these people. And I'm going, you stupid morons. You know, if it were some right winger talking about them, you know, they would have been all over it. These people is used a lot. So leave that phrase alone. It's just you use it. It gets used for sympathetically. It gets used unsympathetically. It gets used everywhere in between. So, yeah. But no. One of the exercises I did was catching myself whenever I used it or trying to catch it, and then saying, "How did I use that?" And it got used pretty well. The same amount, you know. Talking about the Republicans, Trump supporters, these people, you know, talking about people that I sympathized with, you know, and you just use it. There is a kind of an extra usage. I mean, the Latins had this term. It was a demonstrative, something like this, but it was, I think, those
Well, it's
of yours.
gotten to a point where it used to be that the yellows would just put down the blues. Those were the bad guys, the villains of society were the blues. And
oh, you mean like the scientific type of people? Yeah, I keep forgetting.
Yeah,
but,
I know.
Oh, they're still doing it, but
now
now it's spread to.
Now they're taking us down. They're taking the greens. Well, me.
Well, I'm blue-green. So are you, really?
Yeah, I know. I'm
sit
on
on the line, but you're more passive. That's all.
yeah.
We're both on the line. It's just you're more passive. That I suppose in some ways I could. You know, like I've been a captain on a team and stuff like that, and I've had to yell at people for not playing team. So basically, I've had to yell at them for being reds or something like that, or yellows or whatever. You know, like a lot of when you're playing sports, there's a yellow function there.
Yeah.
And of course, there's a big red function there. You know, like the worst players are the ones you've seen them doing what we both call bumhead plays. You know, like someone shows them up. It's like Gordie Howe. Wayne Gretzky talks about this. One guy. This was in practice. This was a teammate. One young punk puts the puck between Gordie's legs and goes around him. You know, and it's kind of like weird. You can do that even with a soccer ball. I don't know if you've seen it too much. It's much harder with a soccer ball. But, you know, you look there and you feel like a total fool because you shouldn't be watching the puck. You're supposed to be watching your man, right? Mm-hmm. So what Gordie Howe does is clip the guy over the head, cuts him for 4 or 5 stitches, and then says, you know, he's joking about it out loud, and then Then he says to the rookie quietly, "Don't ever do that to me. Don't ever show me up again." So that's red. Gordie Howe is a red. Useless people. That's his own teammate. That's in practice. So there's a lot of people like that. You show them up, and instead of taking that as a life lesson, like Gordie should have been saying, "I'm an old geezer, but I made a rookie mistake. You never watch the puck. You always watch your man." I've seen Gretzky do that many times. Like he'd put it between a guy's legs, and guys would be trying to kill him, but he was too fast. He just worked his way around them. It was hilarious how he'd make them look like monkeys. But yeah, that's Gordie. That's a red for you. Don't ever show him up, even though you've taught him a life lesson. But Yellows, oh yeah, they're really down on the Blues. They're down on science, like crazy. They, except for when it comes to, I got to get the word right. Let me see. I'm doing my Don Cherry thing. You don't say global warming anymore. It's climate change. Even so, though it's the same thing. I got corrected the other day by some crazy Yellow. Anyway, I'm sympathetic towards the whole deal. Well, not the whole deal, because here's the deal. They'll keep on saying every scientist says this, and yet any other thing that scientists say, oh, that's just mythology. That's just another belief system. Science is just a religion, but with climate, I'm going to say global warming, because that's really what it is.
Well.
It's global warming. Don't go around changing. It just makes the movement look foolish if you're going around changing the terminology.
No, it's just done as a marketing ploy. So when language changes like that for no reason, and it's not made better, or it's made more complicated or whatever, like acronyms and stuff like that. It's the Yellows that are changing the language to just distract. So it's keeping people, it's keeping the Greens busy, so that we're not thinking about the real issues, about the real problems.
There definitely is a marketing ploy kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like new and improved.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it necessarily with climate change, but understand that's their motive. But there is a red function to it. It becomes a shibboleth. In other words, are you up on the new terms? If you're not, you're going to get a lecture, and that's something that doesn't necessarily happen with marketing. So there is a shibboleth type of function, but you're right to point out the marketing type of.
Well, the more that there's a lot of Greens out there with anxiety disorders, and the more that you stress somebody out, the harder, like with Greens, what they're going to do is they're going to work. If they're stressed out, they're going to keep busy. They want to keep themselves from thinking about the stress. So that's that's all it is. They're trying to keep Greens busy so that Greens aren't thinking about the fact that there's actually not enough nutrients in our food. There's all of these issues that are real problems. The fact that Yellows and Reds are competing to take over the world. They to take over everything, and to let every passive person on the planet die. They're real issues.
Oh, these guys are horrible.
Yeah.
These people are absolutely horrible.